Give me a second. I will start my rant in just a moment. Because this... where do I begin? Well, like I'm sorry for seeming so clumsy here, but I literally do not know how I'm supposed to start this. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I did not watch all the matches on the show, so I can't talk about all of it. But this show has been the worst WWE show I've seen in years. This was worse than the show where Jinder was in the fucking Punjabi prison match. And Shinsuke Nakamura was in the worst match of his career against fucking Baron Corbin. So that's providing us some perspective here. Now, this match, like, I wasn't angry at first. I thought it was bafflingly bad. But I wasn't angry, I was just baffled. Now, as I'm examining what I've witnessed to that, I'm offended. It's not as bad as some of the old TNA and WCW shows where you feel raped after having watched it. Like you feel like you should be able to sue the company in those instances. I don't feel I should be able to sue WWE over this, but I damn well sure expect an apology and blowjob maybe. Like, I don't know, like something, because this was okay. We'll have to start with the first match. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. I just made a video about this. Both of these women were not ready physically when it comes to their setting up matches and their wrestling skills when they were called up to the main roster. Nia Jax had been in wrestling school for 8 months? Less? And in those 8 months, she had been pushed in a prominent spot and had not learned to work because of her size and family connections and whatnot, okay? Here's the thing. Nia Jax is so bad. She is so bad. I forgot how bad she is because I'm not been watching properly lately. She was bad. And Alexa Bliss is average as fuck in the ring. Okay, and ironically, I said this earlier today, she's a miss of the women's division in the sense that I don't give a shit about her matches. I love hearing her talk. And if I was gay, I would have liked to see her. I was attracted to men because agender, but whatever. I would have liked looking at this probably because I presume he's a handsome individual. That's what my impression at least. Alexa Bliss, gorgeous. I like to look at her. I like to hear her talk. And it's very cute when she winks at people and does the entrance and does a thing with the title over her head, right? I don't want to see her in a wrestling ring ever again. Except as a valet or as a manager for another woman. That would be great. Keep her there. And send her to NXT and have her do matches and have her learn how to do matches well on that level, and then she can take her back into the wrestling ring because I think she's very talented. Evidently, she's evidently a very good talent, but she's not had the opportunity to evolve, and you can't really learn that well on the main roster because of the schedule and because of what you're being put into. You don't have the time to be in wrestling school where you do taped shows once every month and do some house shows. In the meantime, you get to train every day and watch wrestling every day and fucking watch great matches and learn and then discuss with your trainers and shit. You are in WWE, you're on the road constantly and you don't get the time to do that shit, okay? So with that, we have a problem here. So, and this is a problem with the later match. But this match sucked. This match was so bad that I was offended when I was done. And there were 2 problems. Nia Jax is not ready. She's bad. Alexa's just average. She's so bad. And Alexa is not believable in any way. You do not take her seriously. And this was the same problem they had with the WrestleMania match. But the WrestleMania match, at least it was on WrestleMania, it was a big moment. It had nothing offensive had happened in the WrestleMania show yet. So the crowd was still good and popping and shit. The crowd was dead for this match. And it progressively got deader and it got angrier at Nia. Because David and Goliath doesn't work if Goliath is the babyface. Most often, because you can't get sympathy. You don't feel sympathy with Nia Jax when fucking Alexa Bliss is beating her up. You're feeling like, seriously, for one, you don't believe that's possible. Like Alexa Bliss does not have the athletic credentials, and I know that's not really a real thing, but she doesn't have the athletic credentials to put over herself as a trained fighter. Okay? She's very believable as a mean girl in high school, or a dominatrix, or a debate team member. She is not believable as a fighter, and this is proving more and more evident with each title reign she has. And you've gone beyond the point where you can camouflage it, because it doesn't work. You can't camouflage it anymore, and you're just left with whatever this was. So Nia Jax needs to go to NXT. Or what? No, she needs to go to NXT after having been decimated by someone. Either Ember Moon or Ronda, but I don't want Ronda to have title yet. So Ember Moon, Ember Moon beat her badly. Okay, Ember Moon just used her fucking quickness and agility to just fucking massacre Nia, and then send Nia to NXT, keep her off television for a year, and have her train and train and train and train and train, and again get her back on NXT television, have her work her way up, do matches, and then after another year maybe, then she comes back up and she will be great. Hopefully, if she takes this seriously, if I were her, I would suggest that. And I know it would be a pay cut, but it would be worth it. And you have a family pool, you can get back in and shit, and if there's that's supposed to Jeff Hardy around the Orton match. Who cares? Yeah, that was my opinion on that match. And what was next? Oh yes, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. This was nothing. Okay, Cass was. I like Cass and Enzo versus Revival matches, but that was because they were fighting the fucking Revival in a tag team match where all of their flaws could be fucking camouflage. Okay, there was smoke and mirrors everywhere. Big Cass in a singles match without someone like Enzo to fucking be his speaker. There's no smoke and mirrors there, and Daniel Bryan is one of the damn well best choices you have to put this guy over, okay, or try to make him star. Not even that. I doubt that Ric Flair in his prime could have gotten Big Cass properly over, and Ric Flair in his prime could have gotten anyone over. He could have gotten my grandma, who's probably never watched a professional wrestling match in her life, over. Okay. That should say enough. It's not even that bad. It's not that he did nothing. He's so limited because he's a huge guy who, for the most part, can't do power moves. The only person he can do power moves to is, ironically, Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan is not that big, right? He can't do power moves, so he can't wrestle large people that convincingly. And the only move of note he has is a fucking big boot. He doesn't even do the big boot well. And he chops people. Wow, the big man chop. The spot that everyone does, but he does it in a significantly less charismatic way. It's so completely fucking boring. Yeah, he does that. This match was nothing. This match halted whatever momentum Daniel Bryan had. Daniel Bryan, when he announced that he was coming back, he was the biggest star in wrestling. Okay? And WWE, if they have any sense, they would have utilized that. They would have pushed him to the fucking top. They would have had him destroy Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn by themselves with a fucking pinata tied around his head, and they are wielding flamethrowers. You would just have them be a god among men, okay? And then you would have had him at some point win the title, and in the meantime, you have him wrestling with good, credible opponents. You can even have the Miz in there because of their built-up resentment, but only for one match, and you should have been the Miz should be destroyed in that match whenever that comes. That's what I'm saying. The Miz should be decimated. He should be murdered by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan should be Chris Benoit here. And not in the sense, not that he should murder his wife and child. It's not that. But he should be Chris Benoit so that he's just a fucking destroyer, even despite the size. He's using his fucking kicks and submissions and shit, and he just He just kills people. He just becomes a murderer and just rips their hearts out. Okay, I want that. That's the kind of shit I want. I want Daniel Bryan to do fucking Chris Benoit versus David Flair matches. Okay, I just want him to destroy people, have him look as a fucking badass. And of course, you can always do the every man underdog thing, but I think Daniel Bryan has enough credibility to don't need to do it, and you can only do it with select few opponents. But at this point, I think Daniel Bryan should just be pushed as the best wrestler in the world. He's motivated, and shit in his comeback, they didn't do that. They fucking bungled this fucking return match because they told that after having waited for like 3 years, we need to wait even longer to see him. And now he's wrestling Big Cass. Big Cass, who was a mid-carder. I honestly forgot that Big Cass was employed. That's how forgettable Big Cass was. I usually don't forget people who have injuries that they're employed, but I forgot that Big Cass was employed. I usually forget they're gone, but I don't forget that they're employed usually. Big Cass, I forgot that he was employed. I still don't understand why he's employed, except that Vince likes to big, such a big sweaty man. That's yeah. My God, I've never experienced things like that. But it got worse. Okay, and then I think it was then. Then it was the fucking Charlotte versus Carmella match, or it was the fucking knockout. No, it was the Charlotte versus Carmella match. Here's another problem. Carmella is in the same camp as Alexa Bliss, where I think she's average, but you can't believe her. I don't believe, and I know that's part of the thing with chicken shit. Chicken shit, like I'm in kind of in the Jim Cornette's kind of fan of wrestling, where I think that wrestlers should look like they're athletes and fighters, even if they're heels. Yeah, okay, they're cowardly douchebag heels, but if they met an average person on the street, they could still win that fight. That's what I should think. They should be able to destroy a normal guy, right? Even if they're small. Like, if they're small, they will use their fucking quickness and run circles around the guy and fucking kick him in the balls if they're a heel, or just kick him in the face, right? If there's a big guy, a fucking puny mortal's hands should not be able to harm them, right? I don't believe any of that when I see Carmella. I believe that Carmella could potentially beat the 50-year-old woman in a cat fight in a bar at one night when they're both sloppy-ass drunk, maybe. Yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, Carmella is nice looking. Woohoo! And charismatic. Woohoo! That doesn't help this at all. I've been saying this for quite some time, and I said it again. You can't take these women out of the wrestling school so early. You have to take the top ones out. Take the Emma Moons and the Asukas and the Baileys and the Sashas and the Charlottes and the Becky Lynches out when they've already been there, up at the top, had great matches, had time to build both their brand and learn how to do this, and then you send them up, okay? Do not send your wrestlers up, then they have not had that time, okay? That's a great thing. That's a great thing about the territory system. You could just send wrestlers around, and they would learn how to do this. They would move up the card. They would learn how to work in that style, and then they would learn how to do. They would learn to do a jobber match in that style. They would learn to do a mid card match in that style, and then they would learn to do a main events match in that style. And then when they got stale, you would send them out to another territory, and they would use that what they've learned there to make an easier transition. And then maybe they wouldn't take them so much long time to learn a new style and just move up again. That was the beauty of it. And that's what you're trying to do with NXT. It's trying to be a territory system here, where the NXT territory is where you start. And you watch them develop, you watch them learn the style, and they build a name for themselves to some semi-casual fans, okay? And they add the WWE group, and then you send them in. Not, okay, we take them in the middle of this process. Because then you don't have stars that are ready, and especially in the women's division, which is so fucking depleted already, because it's split in half, and both of those halves by themselves are not large enough to have sustainable division. When half of those stars aren't ready to do main events or big matches, you're in a problem, okay? Like on SmackDown, I don't know what the fuck we're going to be doing here, because the 3 heel women, their gimmick is literally that they suck. And that they're annoying in two of their spaces, right? That's not conducive to having a stable main event for any kind of time. So one of the three women had to turn heel. I mean, Charlotte could be heel against Asuka could be a great heel. She's kind of like the Brock Lesnar style, or at least she used to be. There were points where like you couldn't. You tried to get her to be booed, but you couldn't because she was so fucking badass. But I mean, they're fucking ruining Asuka too. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Anyway, so this match was, it was better than a cast match, but it was like it highlighted the same problems we're seeing here. And then Carmella won clean. So the heat with her and all of the character thing, like she beat Charlotte clean. Charlotte beat the undefeated Asuka clean in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania. She made her tap. She didn't even pin her. She made her tap, which in wrestling logic means that she super beat her. And Carmella beats her clean. And yes, she landed on her leg a little bad, but there was no interference. There was cheating. She didn't injure her leg before the match or anything, or was an old injury. No, she landed badly on her leg, got a kick to the leg, pinned. Then we got to Nakamura. This was where the crowd was killed. Like, ultimately killed. This was where the murder happened. And Nakamura and AJ, okay? I'm not talking about the Great. I'm not going to. The booking up to this match really made no sense after Great Rumble, but whatever. They're having this match, and it started out so the crowd had been very dead because so much shit has been going on. But they started getting in, and the action started intensifying, and the low blows came in. It's great. Then double low blow, lay both the outs, count out again, but not count out. Count out. Suppose it would be called. So what are we left with here? Because why are we going to do this match again? Why? Nobody would want to see it. Even I love both guys. I think Nakamura is amazing as a heel. I think AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the company at present, with maybe Asuka and Kairi as a seconds to him. Right? But who the fuck are we supposed to watch here? Like, okay, we're going to see Joe next, and Joe, sure, but Joe's been killed too. So, what then happens is that we go to Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Sane KO, whatever they call him. Always Sane, whatever. The Generico and Steen, okay? They had a match. Braun Strowman, the most over guy in the company, they didn't care. That's how bad this show was, okay? And then they got to the main event. And the main event, they thought, okay, how are we going to do this? You fucked up every booking opportunity so far. You had boring ass matches for most of the show. How are we going to save the day? We are going to have 7 minutes of chin locks and arm locks in the main event between two of the biggest killers on the roster, right? Samoa Joe, the second most believable guy on the WWE roster currently, with his fucking promos, his presence, his ring work. He is such a believable killer that the only one that out killers him is Brock Lesnar. And Samoa Joe, who's been pushed as the guy who can fight Brock Lesnar toe to toe. And you have a slow, boring match where little of anything of note happens. And Joe starts the match by fucking putting him through a table. So Joe is then having a storyline excuse for being fucking depleted and weak. No, not Joe, I mean Reigns, but he's also named Joe, but whatever. So, match goes. And then finally in the Coquina clutch, and people are so happy. Yes, you're going to see him to put him to sleep. Samoa Joe, the most badass promo on the roster, finally he's going to do it. And then he breaks out. And people are like so disappointed. People are chanting delete, delete, delete. They're chanting break the traffic. Not break the traffic, get past traffic or whatever. So they're like getting out. People are walking out actively from this match because one, it's late. Secondly, this match, like, we know what's going to happen, and who cares? Because there's another Roman Reigns main event match. How tiresome is it? Another main event match with Roman Reigns. This is like when CM Punk was fucking mid-carding to Cena. What the fuck even was it? And then it's over. And Roman Reigns wins with a spear. And Samoa Joe, who's just returned, who's been built up as like this fucking like looming monster threat right? The one that's going to fucking end Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns pins him. And Samoa Joe looks like a complete geek. Everyone looks bad. And I mean, I know what their idea was. They were going to, because they're doing this thing now, trying to get Roman Reigns over because they've tried everything in the book. And the thing they've tried the most recently is to make matches painfully boring to watch. But not due to Roman, but due to the other guy. So we then hate him and love Roman. We just end up hating everyone, and then we don't give a shit anymore. That was like this match in a nutshell. This was the worst show I've seen in quite some time. I'm offended by the show. And what are we supposed to do with this show after? Like, what are we going to do with this? Like, where's the catharsis for me in all of this? There's nothing, because nobody likes Roman Reigns. So that's one of the biggest problems with Roman Reigns as the guy, is that whenever he wins, it's not a happy ending to a show. Like, WWE has always had this philosophy of trying to have happy endings on the big shows, usually, right? That's what they've been built around. But Roman Reigns, whenever he wins, it doesn't feel like a happy ending. It feels not like a kick to the balls either. The pain is much more subtle than that. It feels like not having eaten for the rest of the day, and then you forgot to have eaten for a day, and then you forgot to get to dinner, and the store is closed. So now you have to go to a kiosk and get some shitty kiosk food. That's what it feels like. Like, this is supposed to be good, but it doesn't. You feel empty. That's what it feels like. All of this just keeps going, and we're left with a champion, or left with a guy they're trying to make the guy. They're keeping us fucking strapped down in the chair. They're fucking nailing us to this chair and being like, you must love Roman Reigns. And whenever we say no, they fucking just strap us back in and just tighten the grip a little bit more. And then you say, come on, love Roman Reigns, and nobody wants to love him because nobody cares about Roman Reigns. It's not even like actively, we just don't want him anymore there on the screen. And he's so bland at this point. And he's a good wrestler. It's not his fault. But it's and I have to go out and say now that The Miz had the best match on the show, which includes Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan in different matches in it. And of course, Seth Rollins carried him to that match. It's not Miz. This is not his success. But I'm still like, oh my god, what was this? Might be one of the worst wrestling evenings in my life, and I've seen some. I have been to see a few bad ones. I watched the 2015 Royal Rumble. Okay, I have been there and seen it all. I've witnessed things that, oh my, yeah. I wasn't there for this December to December, but thankfully so few watched December to December that they never could experience that pain. Okay? It was just an urban, nobody watched December to December. You think you've watched it, but you haven't. It's a fucking, like the flat earthers, you know how they think that, oh, Australia doesn't exist? That's December to December. It exists, but no one has actually ever seen it. They just think they have. They've seen a mirage to mask the true horribleness of that show. Okay, so like how, like, there's few ways I could imagine making this show worse. Like, if you got Abyss back as the Hulk Lantern, that might have made it worse. Like, he comes in, he just poses with the ring, like, and just comes in, and he uses the power of Hulkamania to beat up shit. You know what? That actually improved the show. What else? What else could have made the show worse? Except removing the only good match. Now this is a headbangers match. I don't know. Claire Lynch comeback in WWE. Katie Wake. I mean, ignoring the obviously blatantly horrible shit, I'm trying to see how could you make this worse and try and pass it off as a good idea. Take those Saudi trainees and have them face off against Arya Dewar in a 4-on-1 match. That could be something. Someone I could pass that off as a good idea to someone, and it would be horrible because most of those guys are not well trained enough to do a pay-per-view match. And Arya is only one guy, and you would make him the babyface by having 4 baby faces team up in him. And yeah, it would be that I could see, that could actually make it worse. But then again, Arya could probably use some cruiserweight interesting shit and then kind of make up for it. No, yeah, still. Oh yeah, Legends return. You could have Scott Hall and X-Pac in a match. Yeah, that would be good. Oh yeah, Scott Hall and X-Pac and Kevin Nash. You have them make a return, and with Hulk Hogan, and you have all of them in a match where they beat a reformed Shield. That would be worse. And you can still put, because the Legends are making a return, you can say that draws. Oh my god, that would make this worse. Okay, so I managed to twist my mind into WWE logic to the point where I can make this work. But I actively gave myself cancer trying to do that, so I'm not sure how effective that idea was. But that's my point. Look at this. That you have to stoop to the levels where you have to come with that level of suggestions how to make this worse. I don't know. Like WWE, like despite the bad TV shows, for the most part, they've had rather decent to goodish pay-per-views for the last 2-3 years. Okay, or maybe not 3 years, 2 years. Okay, I'd say 2 years. But this show, I don't like. Is this what were they thinking? I mean, there's so many basic rules that they basically just ignored. So I don't know what to do about this. So what I would say going forward is that we need to move most of the women, not most of them. We need to move 4 of the women, like 5. 5 of the women need to be moved down to NXT immediately. I forgot to Absolution and Riot Squad. Okay, move 2 out of Absolution, move 2 out of the Riot Squad, move Carmella, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, unless you're keeping Alexa Bliss as an ally, and Nia Jax, and the Iconics, and you move all of them down to NXT, and you then take the best of them and you start working at them in mid-card to main event levels, and you have them work in NXT and learn properly and take the time to build them and teach them how to do this, and then you bring them back up. That's one aspect. And I love women's wrestling. It's actually, the women's division is like my favorite division in WWE. Like, I'm more hyped for seeing a Sasha Banks match than I'm ever for watching a Roman Reigns match or a Randy Orton match. I'm just saying. Okay? But you have to do this smartly. And you have to take the 2 remaining parts of the women's division and combine them so you have enough people to actually work with here. And combine the tag teams so we don't get the fucking tag team division to be as stale as fuck as it already is. Lastly, we need a new top guy. And that guy should be Braun Strowman. Okay, have Braun Strowman be the guy on Raw and have eventually make Daniel Bryan the guy on SmackDown. Okay, I would take Daniel Bryan off TV. Okay, lie and say he was in a fucking motor accident. Build up some hype for him again. Have Nakamura, AJ Styles, and fucking Joe have a 3-way feud where they pass the title between them a few times. Not a few times, but some of all of them have been WWE champions at least once during that period. And I count the current reign as one of those times for AJ, so he doesn't need to get the title back. Then you have Daniel Bryan come in, victorious fucking babyface on a Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble or something, and you have him win the title back and have him the top guy on SmackDown and have him be dominant and do what he does. In the meantime, have Braun be the top guy in Raw. Use as much smoke and mirrors as you can to avoid him from having prolonged wrestling matches. His matches need to be fucking carnage. Okay? That's all. That's my recipes for fixing this situation. And they're not bad off. It's just that they should know how to do this already. I shouldn't be able to tell them this because I'm a fucking nobody who knows nothing. Okay. Anyway, that was my review. Bye.